Hey everybody, this is David Skrika, stock chart of the day. So this is November 21st. So we're going to start doing this. I know I haven't had one this week, but I've done a couple members updates, been doing the final edit of my book right now. So I've been very, very busy. Not much has been going on in the market. So what we're going to do though, from now till Black Friday, I'm just going to do the stock chart of the day is not going to be macro anymore. We've been doing tons of macro stuff, valuations, markets, etc. We're going to stick to like individual stocks. So today we're going to look at one of our sponsor companies, and we're also going to look at NVDA, which is the company everybody loves. It had earnings last night. So we're going to quickly look at this. This is FTZ, and this is Fitzroy. So it finally reopened. It was down 19%, the highest volume day actually since late last year. But the new, as I stated, is very good. So they're taking over this approval for Calabos. This is a company that has this property in Chile. And you can see here are some of the terms of it. Expenditures of $1 million, additional $4 million, and stage two operations make a cash pay of $2 million. So this obviously means they are going to have to dilute a little more, right? They're going to have to raise more money to pay for all this. So that's probably why the stock is reacting that way. And probably some people would rather, buy one of these financings, get a warrant, etc. So you're going to see that sort of thing. So I think you have to take that into account. But this is really, really a company maker. You can see like the company's finder's fees are issuing 1 million shares to and another finder of 240,000 shares at 14 and a half. That's not really a big deal. It's 1 million shares more. It's not going to really make or break the company. But this is a really huge acquisition for them. This is kind of like a company maker. So I'm not too worried about the short-term move. If anything, it gets you to buy it a little lower and, etc. So, and you can see actually the RSI went from basically overbought just a few days ago to now oversold. And if we go look at the last time that RSI got oversold, like in June, July, the stock went from 10 cents to almost 30 cents. So, this looks quite good. And then the last time it was oversold last year, that was the bottom at 3-4 cents, the tax loss selling season of late last year. And then, went up almost tenfold since then. I'm not saying it's going to go up tenfold. So, obviously this company was a sponsor company. I have been paid for them in the past. They also have a corporate subscription to my newsletter. All of that, is disclosed. So what we're going to look at now after this is we're going to look at NVIDIA. So NVIDIA, beat on earnings like it usually does. But I think it's interesting. What's interesting, I think, right now is NVIDIA is essentially, really moving here to a large degree upwards, right? So that's what NVIDIA is doing. Sorry, NVIDIA is, sorry, I should say, is that their business is going upwards, but the stock has a pretty muted response. Now, could it continue to move higher? Yeah, sure. But we go look at these kind of like last earnings in NVIDIA, like you can see here, August was kind of the same way. Is NVIDIA is like always kind of like gapped up recently on the earnings. The August didn't take out kind of the May high. It did actually gap up. And of course, NVIDIA is now at all-time high. So of course, it's got to continue to meet even higher and higher expectations. But I think it's interesting that the stock was basically flat today. So, at some point, I'm going to be looking to short NVIDIA because I've always talked about parabolic curves, and all parabolic curves collapse. So we get a 20-year chart in NVIDIA. You can see this is about as parabolic as it gets. And, it's funny because I was looking at RCA stock 1929. We're going to look at this right now. This is like RCA. So look how similar something like that looks, right? This RCA was the big bubble stock in 1929, etc. So I'm not going to continue. This is good enough. That's all we have to see. So I think like that's kind of like what we're looking at here with something like RCA being a poster boy 1929. NVIDIA is the poster boy today. I know we could look back at Microsoft and all kinds of other in 2000, all kinds of other stocks during these kind of bubbles, etc. So I think NVIDIA now is getting close to that because, like I said, it's not having these big gap ups and ups, and of course, now the expectations are getting higher and higher and higher. So at some point, it's just going to have some earnings where either it reverses or has a big gap down, etc. Like I think you can still give this to the end of the year, because people are going to be, obviously NVIDIA is a huge winner this year. The stock began the year around $40, $50. It's near $150, etc. So I think that that's kind of what you have to look at here. And yeah, I think it's very interesting that NVIDIA is moving higher, or sorry, is did not move that higher on these kind of higher earnings. So that's it. That's our stock chart of the day. So like tomorrow, you're gonna say I'm gonna do Target. I'm actually gonna do Target. I'm putting this NVIDIA chart after the close. So that Target will be out Friday morning. And then I'm going to continue to do like a stock a day. We're going to look at a couple stocks I've talked about in the past, basically till Black Friday. I'm going to do these kind of quicker videos just talking about a stock because it is stock chart of the day after all. So everybody take care, and that's it.